everyone, I'm Sal Henley. You might know me from the Slimming World Golden Bus Tour that we did last year. We celebrated our 50th birthday with you, our members, which was great fun. But now times have changed, sadly, and we are at home. Or is that sadly? I'm not sure, because I'm getting time with my family. In fact, I'm in my sister's kitchen right now, down in Kent, and my lovely nieces, 3 of them behind the camera, well, actually, it's a mobile phone, are there. So, we are going to cook store cupboard cookins. And those store cupboard cookins are going to be made up from all ingredients that you have in your fridge, freezer, your cupboard, or that you can easily get hold of from the supermarket. We're going to start with an anything goes frittata. You can see I've got 8 eggs, but if you've got 6, that's fine. I'm going to use courgette, roasted peppers, a bit of frozen spinach, onion, and then I've got some store cupboard dried herbs. Even a bit of mint sauce is going to work well. But we're going to get cooking and we're going to show you how to do it. So we're going to start with making the base for the frittata now. It just depends on how many eggs you can get hold of. I managed to get hold of a few. We've got a few chickens outside. So I've got 6 in there, but I'm going to actually add 8 because there's actually 8 of us in our household at the moment. So you can imagine how much food we're getting through. So 8 eggs into there, and then I just thought mint sauce goes really well with peas, spinach, any kind of springtime vegetable. So I just got some that I had in the fridge, and I'm just going to add, a good dollop. You want to taste it, I think. And then chives, I've got some dried chives here. Now I did find those in the supermarket because I was trying to get some fresh ones, but I couldn't get any. So I'm just going to sprinkle in, I don't know, about a teaspoon. That's about right. I'm making it up as I go along, and that's what you guys should do at home as well. And a teaspoon of dried parsley. If you've got dill or tarragon in your cupboard, that would work really well. But make sure you season it. Eggs do take quite a lot of seasoning. So a nice bit of salt and lots of good pepper in there. And then you can either use a whisk or use a fork and get the kids involved if you want in this. It's really simple to do. And I'm just going to keep beating that until all the eggs have come together. And then what we'll do is we'll go over to the hob and we'll start cooking it. So it doesn't look very appetising at the moment, but don't you worry. It will be a delicious little frittata that everyone could have for lunch or a light supper. Okay, we're going to go over to the hob now. So now we're going to cook the anything goes frittata. I've called it that because basically whatever you got in your fridge, let's throw it in. So like I said before, I'm going to do some onion. I've got frozen spinach there. I've also got some peas that are rumbling around in my freezer, so I'm going to put those in. I'm just making this up as I go along, so I've put that in with nothing in there at the moment. If anything, it might just need a little bit of water, but I'm hoping the water from the spinach will come out and start to cook that. So I'm doing that over quite a high heat, because the more caramelised the onion is, the more flavour goes into it. So we'll just give that a second. Now, anything goes frittata, what are we going to put in there? You could do a lovely breakfast one. So if you've got a bit of bacon, mushrooms, tomatoes in your fridge, you could whisk up some eggs and have that as an alternative to a breakfast idea. Oh, I know, roast dinner. Everyone has a few vegetables left over from roast dinner, whether it's roast potatoes, broccoli, carrots. You can chop all those up because nobody ever knows what to do with them apart from make a soup, and throw those in, and with some eggs, and again, a little frittata. My family would be very happy with that. To be honest with you, we're continually cooking in the house at the moment. So the crew would like that, wouldn't you, crew?
Woo, yeah, we would.
Okay, so that's starting to break down a bit, and we're just going to leave that for another minute or so. I just want to basically warm that through. I don't mind if the onion is a bit raw as well. That doesn't really bother me because I like raw onion. But if you want it a bit more cooked, throw it in at the beginning, cook it for about 5 minutes in a bit of water, and then add everything else in. Okay, so now that's kind of cooked down. The water's been released from the spinach, and it's now looking a little dry, which is great. Then we're going to add in, I've got half a jar of roasted red peppers that were in brine in the fridge, so I'm going to add that in. And then grating your courgette, actually a really good way of using up odds and ends of a courgette, and it goes further. And if you've got really, kids who are struggling to eat a bit of veg, it sort of slightly hides it in there. You don't need to cook that too much. We're just going to literally warm that through. And you can see how lovely and colourful that is already. Things like roasted butternut squash would be delicious in here. I probably wouldn't put things like pulses, but even if you've just got the odd pepper, just chop that in and throw that in. Now, I'm going to actually just take this out, which seems a bit weird, but I'm going to then clean out the pan. You can see that we're using a non-stick pan. So I'm going to put that in like that. I'm making a right mess of this, but that's, you know, home cooking for you. Put that in there. And then what we're going to do is put that to one side. I'm going to put that back on the heat, but I'm going to wipe it out with a kitchen towel, because I'm going to try and make the surface as non-stick as possible, so that that actually just does sort of come out of the pan very easily. So we'll just do that. Take that out to one side. Okay, I haven't done a very good job on that, but it's a bit better than nothing. So you put that back on. If you've got time, just wash it up and then dry it. I'm just going to use low-calorie cooking spray for this. And what I would do is make sure you go all around the sides. I suppose this pan's about 2-3 inches deep and non-stick, and it's about 8 inches wide. Then what we're going to do is add in, and keep this heat quite low so you can see it's not too high. You're going to add in those lovely eggs that we've mixed with mint sauce and some dried herbs, etc. Let's get everything out, waste not, want not. Then what we're going to do is just give that a little bit of a stir, because that's starting to cook already because there's residual heat in that pan. So we keep doing that a little bit just to get it warming up the egg mixture before we add that in. And then that will make sure that you've got some heat going through the middle of it. So again, I just got like a silicone spatula, and I use that. It's really good. I think you'll find that's the low-calorie cooking spray fallen on the ground, but there we go. Then we're going to add in the veg back in there. And so you can see how colourful that is going to be. And I wanted to make it quite deep. So in our family, I've got to serve 8, obviously, so it's going to be more of a chunky style. And then you just sort of mix that through and just keep moving it a little bit. I know that sounds a bit weird, but again, just so it warms through, and you can hopefully see what that looks like. Now, I'm just going to leave it for a second and lower that heat. We don't want to burn the base of it, we just want to make that lovely and golden. So that will probably take, I don't know, about 10 minutes to just set up on the hob. Just watch it. I'll show you the stage that you're looking for before you pop it in the oven just to finish it off. So there you go, there's the clue. The oven needs to go on, so set it at a moderate heat, probably about 180 fan or 200 normal oven, gas mark 6, and then we can put that in. Okay, so this is the frittata. You can see it's still got a wobble on it. But the important thing is that you can run your little spatula around there, and it's generally quite cooked there. So that is the point where I put it in the oven, and it depends on your hob, how high you can turn it or low you can turn it. So that's taken about 6 minutes on there. So just look out for those pointers, and then you'll know. You can also hear it. Oh yeah, that's good. So we're going to pop it into the oven over here. Good old auger. So we're going to put that in, and we're going to continue to cook that maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I know it sounds vague, but again, I'm working with an auger, and you guys might be working with conventional ovens. So you just have to gauge it, but I'll give you some tips on when it's ready. Oh my goodness, this is the point of getting it out of the oven. Hopefully it's completely cooked. So let's just grab that. Now, good point made by one of my nieces. She said, make sure that the handle is oven proof. Good point, well made. Just do check that, because we don't want burning plastic in the oven. You can see it's slightly browned up, and you can just feel the firmness there, and that is what you're looking for, a little spring back, a bit like when you're testing a cake. And also, similarly, it comes away from the sides like a cake. So you just run that spatula around. I am a little nervous to get this out. Sometimes it does stick, but hopefully if you've got a really good non-stick pan, it will work. You take a dinner plate that's bigger than the size of your pan, you put that over the top, and make sure you've got enough sort of tea towel to protect your hand from that hot handle, and then you turn it out and give it a shimmy. Oh, did you hear it drop? That was a good drop. Ah, look, it's worked. But we don't want to see that ugly side to it. So you get another plate, you encase it and you flip it back. Woo! It's like magic, isn't it? And there you go. Beautiful frittata. And we're going to have that with a lovely kind of salad. So all of that is free food. I mean, amazing. So we're going to eat a good portion of it. The crew are hungry. You hungry? Woo!
Yeah.
Okay.